All right. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. We are back in Spare Room Studio today with the continuation of our Mario Kart Through the Years journey. We are exploring today Mario Kart 64, the Nintendo 64 version of our Mario Kart game today. So, Mario Kart 64 was debuted near the end of 1996 in Japan. It would be released for North America and Europe and the rest of the world shortly thereafter. Mario Kart 64 is one of the more interesting Mario Karts in that it was the first Mario Kart to use fully rendered 3D computer-generated environments. So, unlike Super Mario Kart, which the courses used the Mode 7 graphics, effectively using a two-dimensional plane to simulate three-dimensional graphics, Mario Kart 64, due to the increased processor capabilities, were able to fully render 3D graphical environments for the racers to race in. However, there were still limitations to this. Unfortunately, the characters themselves could not be modeled due to the processing limitations, so much like in the Super NES version of Mario Kart, the racers in Mario Kart 64 are sprites, as well as the items, too. They are not rendered in 3D graphics, and they are instead done with pre-rendered sprites. Much like Super Mario Kart, as the characters in the karts would turn, you get a different pre-rendered sprite in order to give you the simulation of three-dimensional rendered graphics. That being said, Mario Kart for the Nintendo 64 was a huge leap forward technologically for Super Mario Kart, given the new 3D environments, really showing off the graphical capabilities of the Nintendo 64 and the advantages it had over its 16-bit counterpart, the Super NES. So, let's go ahead and jump right into the game. We're going to load this up and hope it loads. And for old time's sake, there we go. Now you know it's got to work. The eagle-eyed among you might recognize the splash screen here for Mario Kart. I've already beaten this game quite a few times. The original splash screen of the game, for those who haven't beat it, would be very similar to the original game art that would have been found in the instruction manual. So, much like the Super Mario Kart game, Mario Kart 64 features four different game modes. You have Mario Grand Prix, your traditional single or dual-player game where you can race against the computer. You have Time Trials, which is a solo race only, beat the clock. You also have Versus, which allows you to play head-to-head against your other human counterparts, or Battle Mode, which for the first time ever would allow 4 people to go head-to-head in a winner-take-all duel to the end. Unlike the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64 could facilitate up to 4 players simultaneously, which made the game a lot more fun and the life of many parties. So, I'm going to play for you here the Mario Grand Prix. Let's go down to 150cc. So, much like the Super Nintendo version of the game, you've got 8 characters to choose from, with a couple different differences here. First of all, you'll notice that Donkey Kong Jr. is notably absent. He would not make a return to the game until much later in the series. Instead, you have traditional Donkey Kong, which was borrowed from Rare. Rare contributed to his character model and sprites for this game. You also have lost the Koopa Troopa. Hey, we've got a new follower, King Kelp. Thanks for following. Definitely appreciate that. We also have Wario here. Wario has replaced Koopa in Mario Kart 64. Koopa would not reappear until later in the series as well, rejoining the roster, I believe in Mario Kart Double Dash, which would be a number of years later. So, we've got some fun coming up here. Let's go ahead and select Mario, since that's my favorite character to play, at least at this part in the series. So, unlike Super Mario Kart, we have the addition of one more cup in here. We have a Mushroom Cup, a Flower Cup, a Star Cup, and a Special Cup. Each of them feature 4 races with 3 laps each. So, unlike Super Mario Kart, which had much shorter tracks with a 5-lap gimmick to it, now you've got longer courses with a 3-lap maximum. So, let's go ahead and jump right into it here. Hey, King Kelp, hey, thanks. My voice is amazing. Appreciate that. Can also do some voiceovers. Except I can't do voice impressions. Alright, here we go. Lap 1. Get a little bounce over here. Couple interesting things that Mario Kart 64 introduced you no longer have the second screen on the bottom that would show you where the other racers are. Instead, what you have are a couple different configurable options in terms of a heads-up display. You've got, as I've seen here, the top 4 racers in your upper left-hand corner. You've also got, in the bottom right-hand corner, a view of the overall racetrack, with you represented by kind of the larger dot. My dot is flashing right now because I'm in first place. If I let Wario in front of me there, you see my dot turns to red. We're going to hit Wario with this shell here, or at least attempt to, and fail miserably. Let's get that flashing dot again. Now, as I mentioned, there were some additions to the HUD that you could make by pressing the C buttons. So C to the right, hit it once, will give you a speedometer in kilometers per hour. So you can see the karts right now at 150cc are racing, probably somewhere around 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. So it gives you an idea of how fast the karts are going, pushing upwards of 75 right there. If you press it one more time, you get this view, which is very interesting. The square represents the entire track, and then each character's face represents approximately where they are in the track. So the track scale to the size of your screen there. Oops. Missed my opportunity there. We're going to have to really race to get back in this here. You see we're coming up to the home stretch. I'm going to leave it on this view here so that I can kind of see what's going on with the macro track. Woo! By the skin of my teeth. $1:51 in time. That's not a great time for me, but it's been a while since I played this game. Thanks, King Kelp. Appreciate it. I beat him by 2/100ths of a second. So much like Super Mario Kart, you need to place in 1st through 4th in order to advance. So as you see here, we have 1st place getting 9 points, 2nd with 6, 3rd with 3, and 4th with 1. If you don't finish in 1st through 4th, you're in 5th place with 0 points. So as you can see here, we've got all sorts of fun. We are in 1st place with 9 points, and on to the next race. Alright, Moo Moo Farm. This course would come back in later Mario Karts, getting a refreshed look with the same style of play. Oh, I missed my boost. Alright, let's see. We'll hold on to that red shell. Oh, missed my jump. So if you notice the green shells that are spinning around me here, they're not quite three-dimensional. They actually look very close to 3D. But again, whoa, there's a mole. Those are, again, an example of the sprites that are used in the game rather than the 3D character models. Alright, let's see if we can get some distance back here. Take Wario out and hit him one more time for good measure. Alright. 3 green shells again. Another interesting fact about this game, unlike Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, Super Mario Kart, the background and graphics are not using that Mode 7, as I mentioned earlier. This concept of trading two-dimensional space and creating 3D images. Oh no, I think I just messed up horribly. Yep. Yep, he's gonna beat me. Ouch! Too much talking, not enough racing. 3rd place. Oof. But you can see in the background there, it's a fully rendered 3-dimensional background, which was the first of its kind for this series. Alright, we've got some catching up to do. Hey, thanks, King Kelp. Appreciate it. I've been streaming on and off here for probably the last 3-ish years or so. I just do it for fun more than anything else. Usually I do a bunch of old stuff like this or different series that strike my fancy. Alright, here we go. Koopa Troopa Beach definitely takes from some of its Super Nintendo successors, some of the Koopa Beaches. There's also a secret shortcut in this game, or in this track. We'll see if I can get to it. It's right over there, but I need a boost to hit it. There's also another secret shortcut in this track that does not require a boost, but it certainly helps. We're not going to hit that. Ooh, almost got Wario there. Ooh, a star. I'm going to hold on to that one. I might be able to hit our shortcut. Wario broke my boost. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to show you the first shortcut. This is probably the easier one to take. It's going to be right up here on our right. I'm going to go run through it. You can find this that little patch of dry land right there to cut some time off your lap. That one is the easier of the two to take, a little less technical. Alright, we are well in the lead here. Hopefully I can get a mushroom boost. It's not what I wanted. Nope. Alright. Now just right there, you saw me start to spin and you heard the game kind of play that dizzy music. By braking or tapping the B button on the controller, I can avoid a spin out by simply reducing my speed and maintaining a straight course. Something else that's very interesting, the victory plane, or effectively the lap line, in Mario Kart 64 extends, as far as I can find, indefinitely. So you saw the example right there where I purposely did not go in between the markers and veered off to the right into the ocean. Mario Kart 64's end line appears to go out indefinitely, or as far as you can, meaning that as long as you break that plane, you will still be considered the lap to be over. I'm going to show you in some of our later sections here, particularly with Mario Kart Wii, that is not always the case. In fact, there's one map that I'll show you here in Mario Kart 64 where I like to kind of jump off the map at the end just to win the game while I'm falling into the abyss. Doesn't work that way on the Wii. They fixed it in subsequent versions, so you have to, in later versions of Mario Kart, stay in between the goalposts there. Oh yeah, we're definitely getting Mario Kart Wii. We're doing every single Mario Kart that's ever been made for a home console or handheld device. Not including the latest one that came out for iOS and Android, though. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to screen capture those devices. But who knows? Maybe I'll come up with something. Oh, gotta watch out. Nah, I hit that. Fun fact about the train in Calamari Desert. The train gets longer for every CC that you pick. So this is the longest train. With a full train... Oh, no, that is definitely a fake item. But the train gets longer every time that you up the difficulty level. So 50cc, it's just the train. 100cc, you get a smaller train. And then 150cc, you get a full train with a caboose. Oh, I got another lightning bolt. This is unfair. Yeah, Mario Kart Tour, it's okay. I mean, I like it for the fact that I don't have to go buy another Nintendo handheld console in order to play it, but it's not the kind of Mario Kart that I kind of like to play. It's a fun distraction, don't get me wrong, but it's not my cup of tea. Fun fact, you can actually drive the train track all the way around this course. The train track does not allow you, though, to pass the finish line. So, unfortunately, you can't win by going in the train track, which makes it very difficult. So I'm not sure that the train track actually crosses that finish line. It would be great if it did. We are going to try to beat the train and succeed. Another interesting fact about this game is the game's rubber band mechanism. So, Much like the Super NES part of the game, Mario Kart 64 does not let you run away with victory very often. In fact, the AI will, for the lack of a better term, cheat or give the computer-controlled characters a little bit of extra speed. That way they can catch up to you. As you can see, I built up a sizable lead, but didn't really end up winning by all that much. That's because the game attempts to keep the racetrack a little bit more compacted. Later versions of the game would do this a lot better, but this version, it still keeps it fairly compact, and the intent is to keep the game fun. Even if you've got a sizable lead, you always have something to race for, because that other character is coming up behind you pretty quick. Ooh, good question. Top 3 favorite Mario Kart games. That's a tough one. So Mario Kart 64 is the one that I grew up with and played probably the most. I don't know how many hours I've sunk in this game. So I'd have to go with Mario Kart 64 as my number 1. That, and I just love the battle mode on it. So Mario Kart 64 is my number 1. My number 2, maybe I'm going to take somewhat of a controversial take here. I really like Mario Kart for the Wii. I recently got a Wii, recently started playing Mario Kart on it. I really think that the courses have a lot of fun to them, especially with all the different tricks and jumps that you can do. It really makes for a fun game. The challenge with Mario Kart Wii, as some Mario Kart games would have, there's a lot of exploits in it, and so playing it online with people who are able to hit those shortcuts or hit those jumps to, really clip through walls and cut off parts of the track kind of detract from it a bit, but it's still a really fun game, and I'm having a lot of fun playing through that one. And then my third favorite Mario Kart, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with the Switch version, just because seeing Mario in HD is just such a a refreshing sight. Obviously here we've got maybe a 420 by 320, something like that resolution, but seeing Mario in full HD is a lot of fun. But yeah, King Kelp, let me know in the comments, what are your top 3 Mario Kart games? Be curious to know. All right, time for the win here. All right, Mario Kart Wii, number 1, good choice. Double Dash, interesting. All right, that one's a good one. And Mario Kart for the DS. All right. Mario Kart Double Dash is a lot of fun, and brought a mechanic that hasn't been seen in any Mario Kart game before or since, with the idea of tag teaming and riding together. That is a lot of fun. All right, and a takeoff of Super Mario Kart here. We're going to see the characters get some boosts for their different levels, and the big blooper comes back. Except this time, he's very careful and did not give Mario a champagne bottle before the awards ceremony. He learned from the first game. All right. We got our first place award here. Oh, yeah, and the unique items were fun in Double Dash, too. And the ability to really save items was kind of neat, too. And switch based on what you needed to do, where you could swap drivers in order to use an item or save an item. Alright, we've got our first place medal there. Double Dash is going to be fun. Double Dash is not going to be the next one that I do. Whoop. I lost connection there for a minute. Actually, the game just restarted. Sometimes the old hardware has a bit of an issue. Interesting there. Oh yeah, Super Circuit. Yes, so I've done the Super NES version. We've got that one up. We're going to do Super Circuit first. That one's actually going to be played on the GameCube so that I can get it onto a recording device here. Then we've got Double Dash, then Mario Kart for the DS, then the Wii version, then Mario Kart 7, and then Mario Kart for the Switch. So yes, we will definitely have all of those. Super NES was probably the more challenging one, since I had to do that one on a virtual console on the Switch. So we're kind of going to end where we started, playing on the Switch. Alright. Oh yeah, definitely. Super Circuit will definitely come after this. Super Circuit is really more of the spiritual successor to the Super Nintendo version, using much of the same play style, play aesthetic, as well as using the directional D-pad versus what I've got here, which is an analog stick. Alright, next race. We've got the Flower Cup featuring Toad's Turnpike, Frappe Snowland, Choco Mountain and Mario Raceway. Some of which here, Toad's Turnpike and Mario Raceway would find themselves on later versions of the game. I believe Choco Mountain made a reprise in Mario Kart DS 2. Was it the DS or Mario Kart 7? I can't quite remember. Oh yeah, a lot of these games unfortunately have not aged very well. And a lot of that is due to the really, really small display sizes. That when you play on modern televisions or modern monitors, it just doesn't stretch very well. I mean, I'm playing this on a widescreen monitor right here, a 4K widescreen monitor, and visually speaking, it's a little less than impressive. But the fact that I can be in second place and get stars in this game, that is impressive. It's like cheating. Getting that powerful of an item in second place. And getting a ghost in first place. Yeah, okay. Good luck trying to find that in another Mario Kart game. Alright. Leave a surprise back there. Now take a look. I've got a pretty big lead. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner there. I've got a substantial lead in front of the next car. But I will venture a guess that they will start catching up to me sooner rather than later. Oh, little off on my power slide there. Yep, see? Didn't take them long to catch up to me. That rubber band mechanic. Three red shells in second place. That's just so dirty. It's not fair. Gotta watch out for my own banana peels there. Pretty sure those are the ones I left behind. I think I got someone on me. Yep, Luigi's right on my tail. I just brake to hit him. That's kind of cruel. Alright, one red shell left. That should help keep me in first place. Oh boy, this is a little risky. I heard Luigi get hit by that school bus, so I should be fine. Fire that behind me. First place victory.
I got this.
Yeah, one of the tough parts that I was trying to plan out when I was thinking about this stream series for Mario Kart was, how do I get the DS games to stream? I'm a proponent of using original hardware, or as close to original hardware as you can get, but unless you had one of those special 3DSs that was modded by a particular company, I think it was Katsukitty out of Japan, it's really hard to get a streaming 3DS unless you are very proficient at working with circuit boards and very careful with soldering. I am not any of those, so unfortunately for those, I've got some emulators that we're going to run. However, we are still going to use the original game cartridge, so trying to again, keep it as close to the original as possible with that intent. Thankfully for this one, though, the N64, I've got all original hardware. Alright, Snowland, Frappe Snowland. This one, too, would also get a remake for the Nintendo DS. Much to my dismay, it was not one of my favorite courses. Oh, I thought I was going to miss that one. This map chugs a little bit more than perhaps some of the other maps, simply because you've got... Oh, hello. Spin out there. Oh yeah, the soundtrack is great, but when you've got this snow that starts flying in the foreground here, you can tell the game, at least I can tell, the game lags just a tiny bit as the processor tries to struggle to keep up with all of the graphics that are happening on screen. Man, I never quite recovered from that first bump. Alright. Alright, let's go through the snowman field. Enact some revenge. Yoshi is way out in front of me here. Good news with this course is that the red shells will go find him pretty quick. I don't know if they're actually going to hit, because he's way in advance of me. Unfortunately, rubber banding does not work for the human player, only the computer characters. I think he might be too far ahead of me to catch. Looks like we might have to settle for second here. Yoshi is way ahead and continuing to pull ahead. Oh. That hurt. I gotta grab an item. Oh, great. I missed that throw. Well, so much for second. We're gonna settle for third. Oof. Man, first and third laps were a bit rough. Alright, we're still going to make it out of here in first place. Not too shabby. 12 points for Mario, 12 for DK. Choco Mountain. Now, if you like the soundtrack on the last one, this one is one of my favorites. It's got a great bass to it. Take out Donkey Kong there, nice and quick. Let's see here. Yeah, getting a lightning bolt in second place. That's kind of harsh. Have I ever heard of the weather techno? I have not heard of that, actually. No, I don't think I've ever heard of that. I wonder, is it like some sort of hardware, or maybe peripheral? Meanwhile, I've got Donkey Kong here, who's trying to throw bananas at me. Oh, come, just hit the shell already. Send that last shell flying. Oh, over the bounces. Bounce. There we go. DK came back for another shell. Oh, here we go. Now it's double time. Now we get that beat going. Is it bad that I know that the computer will follow directly in the center of the lane behind you? So if you blast a random shell when they get close right behind you, odds are you're gonna hit them. Alright, keep our speed. We got one boost. Oh, come on, really? Oh my goodness. Wouldn't let me use the boost because I was in the air. Oh yeah, the shortcut on this track? Yeah, there's that one part in the jump where you can see the, kind of if you're down here, there's the other track up here and there's a jump. You can try to make that jump. There's a couple of those that exist in Mario Kart 64. I've never actually been able to successfully do it, but I've seen people do it online. Alright, last one, Mario Raceway. This one would also get a retouch. Would make a reappearance back in the series. Oh, well, I just did that to myself. I'll leave a banana out in the infield there for somebody to take care of that. That's true. It was in Mario Kart Wii. This track was done. And now, here's one of the new additions to Mario Kart, the infamous blue spiny shell. Now what I'd like to show you is what happens if you get in first place with the blue spiny shell. Let's see if I can actually make it into first place by just racing. It's gonna take some skill. I'm gonna try to do it. It would involve not hitting banana peels. Oh yeah, the blue shell was totally overpowered in this game. It's a heat-seeking missile. Alright, let's see if we can catch up here. Oh, really? Well, the other thing is it's a perpetual shell, too, because as you saw, Bowser just ran up behind me and bit the dust. I don't think I'm going to get to use it if I want to win this. I'm going to fire that off. Was not able to make as much progress on the course as I would have liked to. But in case you're wondering, if you are in first place and you use the blue shell, it'll go out a short distance and then immediately hit you. Oh. I'm going to get fourth. Oof. Ouch. Oh yeah, definitely. It is a rare item, and really you're only going to get it if you're in last place. Or there are a couple item boxes that I found that seem to have a slightly higher propensity to give out that shell. Man, second place. Oof. That's not very good. Slacking. Well, Mario, you're gonna have to settle for being the bridesmaid, not the bride. Fun fact about this area in the game, it's actually fully rendered in the Peach Circuit course. You can actually veer off the course and drive into this fully rendered Super Mario 64 version. I'm pretty sure they used the exact same model that was used in Super Mario 64 and just basically stuck it into this game and allowed you to drive over it. Silver. Eek. Yeah, I'll point it out. We're gonna play that cup here next. I'll show you where that is. If I can build up a good enough lead, we'll just take a quick little adventure over there. Alright, so in the Star Cup here, under Royal Raceway is where you can find that. I'll point it out as we get through to that map. It's a fun little area. You can't actually do anything with it, and it doesn't go anywhere, but fun little part of Mario Kart history. I was kind of hoping I'd get that boost. Wario Stadium is another map where you can use some of the shortcut exploits. You can jump this hill and veer to the left if you've got enough boost, and you'll cut some time off your lap. Alright. Just navigate around here. There goes Toad. I missed my items. Took too aggressive of a turn there. That was a nice little bounce I was able to execute to save myself from running into the wall too hard. Alright. A couple of mushroom boosts. One of the most unforgiving parts of this track is that jump, which I just submitted Donkey Kong to. He'll probably fall off the map. Yep, you can see he fell all the way back there. So the challenge with this race is it's unforgiving. If someone lightning bolts you, you cannot close that gap. And which means you're going to do about a quarter of the race over again. Which is not a good thing if you plan on winning. Fun fact about red shells, I'm going to find a straightaway here to let these guys loose. But if you're in first place and release a red shell, the red shell doesn't just go straight and then just kind of die. It actually will do laps around the track, meaning the center of the map will become a pretty big hazard, as you can see them take off there and start flying down the center of the course. We'll see if they come back later. They make it all the way around. We may also hear someone hit them, since the computer likes to drive in the center of the tracks. Alright, let's grab this item. My guess is those shells may have hit somebody that I launched back there. One of the key items that did not make a reappearance from Mario Kart Super Circuit is the feather. So the feather allowed you to do a Tanuki suit style jump, which would allow you to basically bypass parts of the track in Mario Kart Super Circuit. And given the game's kind of 2D track design and layout, that actually was not a bad item. Unfortunately for Mario Kart 64, that same item never made a reappearance. Why? Because with three-dimensional tracks, makes it a little bit more difficult to really jump a wall. And that could lead to some really big shortcutting in this game, which could be game-breaking. So the feather, although shown as an early demo by Nintendo, never made it into the final cut. That's true, the feather did come back into Mario Kart 8. I don't think the feather ever returned in any other Mario Karts, at least not that I remember. Here we go. Oh, Donkey Kong is... Here's an example of that rubber banding. Donkey Kong had fallen off the map, and I thought I was done with him. Oh, jeez. Red shells? Oh, no! I did it to myself! Oh, no. And that is that's the danger you run of using red shells that close to the end. Oh, no. I don't think I'm going to be able to recover from this one. Oh, I hit myself. Alright, we just can't lose to DK. Preserve some of our honor here. Oh, I was just talking about how it's unrecoverable, and I did it to myself. Ouch. 6th place, right at the very end. That's tough. Even after all these years, even I'm not immune to falling off that cliff. Alright, let's try it again. Alright, here we go. Let's run a clean race. We were pretty clean up to that point, and then the rubber banding clicked in. I got greedy with red shells, and the rest is history. Alright, now we're not playing around. Now we're going to win this one. Leave a little gift for somebody back there. Looks like Donkey Kong went for the banana. As you can see there's an example of the in-game draft, where you can effectively race behind another racer and gain a little bit of a boost. Mario Kart 64 was the first one to allow that. Oh. And we're going to hopefully trap some of our fellow racers into that giant gorge. And that should help open up and expand our lead. Now, I want you to keep an eye on that pack down there. They were the number one pack, and now they've all fallen behind. Keep an eye on them as they race around the track, perhaps a little bit faster than their other racing counterparts. you're going to notice that they catch up fairly quickly. Use one of my shells to block that. I think we're going to see the 5, 6, 7, and 8th place characters come back here pretty soon. I don't think these guys have it. Ooh, almost got Wario with that one. That was a close one. Almost able to hit that shot. Oops, let's get around the corner. I almost got Peach. Let's see, I'm surprised DK is making a run, but the others are not. Wario, get out of here. Alright, final lap. Let's see if we can not hit ourselves with a red shell this time. No collateral damage. As I get red shells again. Pay no attention to the floating red shells. They're nobody. You see Donkey Kong making a strong push here. It's already back in 4th place after that colossal fall. Here we go. Was kind of hoping for a better item than that. I got Toad. Uh-oh, the infamous red shells! That'll take care of them. And we got first. Much cleaner run than the last game. Alright. Sherbetland, or as I like to call it, Sherbertland. I know I said it wrong. This one would also get a remake on the Wii version of the game. Now what I'm going to show you I mentioned earlier is this idea or concept of the end of the game, the finish line, spreading indefinitely around the entire part of the map. So, I'll show you what that means here when we get closer to the end of the game. First, I gotta avoid penguins. Miss my Koopa shell shot. DK is still back there. Infamous red shells. Oh, I knew I cut that a little too long. I wasted my red shell. Alright, here we go. Oh, you just had to be right there, didn't you? I made it through those penguins so well the first time. This time, not quite as much. Make a push here. Avoid the penguin. Oh no! I got stuck in the penguin. That's not good. I think winning is out of it. DK is going to come away with that, but can we at least get enough to move on? Oh no, my shell went off. I'm still going to go for the jump though. As you can see, you don't have to actually cross the finish line. You just have to get close to it. 4th place though. Ugh. That's going to hurt the old scoreboard. Still in 1st place, surprisingly. That first lap, or first race helped me out a bit. Alright, Royal Raceway. We'll show you off where you can make the jumping off point to Super Mario 64. Royal Raceway would also get another retreatment in a later Mario Kart game, making a comeback. They had fixed one of what I would consider to be the map's critical flaws, which is one turn toward the very end of the race, which I think is a bit too technical for this game. Now, DK went for the bunch of bananas. Alright, so coming up here after we do this jump, you're going to see where exactly that awards ceremony takes place, which is up here on the right. In fact, if you take this short track to the right, you can go and visit the Peach's Castle. I'm going to bypass this technical turn because I got a star. That'll shave some time off. Send Peach flying. DK, always so good with those banana throws. That is one thing the computer characters are very good at, is throwing bananas. I'm also pretty good at slinging them behind me. This is the turn I was talking about. It's very tight. Alright, we gotta keep Yoshi in sight here. Should help me catch up a bit. Once we get into open space, that shell can hopefully find him. There he is. We're on the home stretch. I hope that finds him. I think he made it off the jump first. We got one last shot at items here. Not what I was really looking for. I think Yoshi's gonna outpace me. Yep. Alright, we'll take second on that one. Another fun fact is while you're in this screen, if you press Z, you can manually fire the Koopa shells. Alright, still hanging on to first place at 16 points. Let's see what's next. Ah, Bowser's Castle. This would also get a redo for the Nintendo Wii version of the game. Oh! Almost got squished by that thing. Instead, I hit the front of it. Red shells are missing. Oh, really? Man, that's a bit rough. 7th place, we gotta work on that a bit. Wario, how did you all avoid being electrocuted? Got him with 1. Alright, here we go. Here comes some fun time. Break through those things. Oh! Looks like I might have to settle for 2nd place again. Or 4th, or worse. Come on. I hear a star coming up behind me. Oh, nope. Can only get 3rd at this point. Not a great showing there. Bowser's Castle is a tough one. See, we're gonna have enough. I think we're gonna have enough to outlast them at 19 points. Not a pretty win, but a win all the same. That should be like some sort of an achievement. Win with less than 20 points. Out of the possible 36 you can get, I got just over half. Good enough to win, though. So you can tell there's that little piece right there of road. You can see Royal Raceway in the background. There we go. I like to see a gold cup. There we go. Back in first.
I got it.
All right. One last raceway to go through here. We've got the Star Cup. Or rather, I should say, the Special Cup. Featuring DK's Jungle Parkway, Yoshi Valley, all of which would get a remake in subsequent games. Banshee Boardwalk would as well as Rainbow Road. In fact, all 4 of these maps would find their way into future Mario Kart games. Banshee Boardwalk, again, much to my dismay, not my favorite. DK's Jungle Parkway. Fun fact, if you go off the road, the locals will throw coconuts at you. Alright. Who wants some bananas? Peach wants bananas. This is another one of these courses where if you get a perfectly timed lightning bolt, you can send some of your fellow racers plunging into the water below. Now, if I take one of these corners wrong, you'll see some of those coconuts being hurled at me. Just like that. I think they're coconuts. Peach goes for the bananas again. Unfortunately, in the newer versions of Mario Kart, there are no items in that little cave, and they don't like it when you go off the road. There's a much less of a leaving the road penalty in this version of the DK Jungle than there are in the subsequent versions of this map. There we go. There's the locals throwing stuff at me. Peach slipping on her own banana peel. I'm gonna grab a banana peel of my own. There we go, lap 3 coming up. Alright, here we go. There we go. Have Peach stumble on that one. Alright, let's see if we can hold them off. Got red shells, that's not a bad thing. Oh no. Oh, that was the absolute worst time to hit that. If that shell hits... Oh, just barely. Almost had a disaster moment there. That was a right combination at the end. Getting that shell off and then hitting those boosts allows us to keep first place. Alright. On to the next one, Yoshi Valley, where there's multiple ways to go through the map. I'm going to show you the shortest way. Unfortunately, this version of the map doesn't really give you much because everything is a question mark. You might wonder, why is that? I don't know this for a fact, but I believe the game just can't calculate it because of all the different paths that you could possibly take through this map. Although it can still figure out if you are in first. Ooh, that almost hit me. Gotta watch out for the giant rotating egg. It's going to the left, we should be fine. Leave a banana for our competitors. I'm sure someone will slip on that. Here we go. Lap 2. I did not want to shoot that forward. That could be a very bad thing. But how did you get in front of me? I hope DK is not that close to being in front of me. I'm gonna avoid the items, go straight for the bridge. Alright, lap 3, here we go. 1 to go. Watch out for the porcupines. They will cause you to slip. Let's avoid that shell, if at all possible. I'm gonna hold on to this boost until the very end. We're gonna use it to cut across the map. And there we go. Shaved a couple seconds off at the end there. All right. Not too bad. Yoshi Valley, and we've got a 9-point lead going into round number 3. Banshee Boardwalk. There was one map that I had to say I'm going to have to retry. It's this one. Thankfully, there are some railings on this map, which borrows heavily from its ghostly counterparts in Super Mario Kart. only reason I say I don't do very well on this map is because of that section just back there with that kind of Z-turn. Just because the computer characters like to bump you quite a bit. And I've ended up in the water quite a few times as a result of that. Alright, get out of here, Toad. I don't want you bumping me, even though you're a lightweight. Just like in Super Mario Kart, there are 3 classes of characters. You've got lightweights, middleweights, and heavyweights. Mario is a middleweight, technically speaking, so he shouldn't be able to be bumped too much, and he shouldn't be able to bump too much, but even just a little bit of bumping causes some separation, and if you're too close to the edge of the map, that can spell disaster. I missed my turn. Give me a little boost. They're gonna steal my items. Just gotta make it through that. Hey, one race where I did not fall through that. That was a good plan. Let's see if I can grab an item here. I think I should be able to stave him off. Yes.
I got it.
First place. Last couple laps were a little rough there, having to slow down a bit, but not too bad. All right, we've got a commanding lead going into the final round. In fact, we've already wrapped up first place with a lead of 12. So now, everyone's favorite, you either love it or hate it, Rainbow Road. This map would make its way back in a Wii version. Unfortunately, they would only make it a one-lap race. This being one of the longest maps in the Mario Kart game. This is by far the longest course in Mario Kart for the 64. Definitely features, though, all of the different characters' faces lit up in neon lights in the background, as well as some popular items. Watch out for those chain chomps. Those guys exist along the way and would love nothing better than to ruin your racing day. Getting a star in second place. If only you could do this in other Mario Kart games. Sometimes I just want to fire those shells backwards and they're just not going there. Fun fact, in this version of Mario Kart, the fake item box will actually block incoming red shells behind you. However, you don't get the nice notification that you'll get in subsequent games, so you kind of just hold it out behind you and hope that nobody's got something coming for you. As you can see, I'm not getting hit by a ton of shells. However, the computer players are significantly faster than me. At least in 150cc, it seems. I'm gonna jump over that one. You can see some of the limitations of the 3D sprites there, where the game really has to adjust the camera angle because it doesn't have a sprite to fill for that big of a jump. It's really the only place in the game where that exists. Trying to get rid of these shells. And that was not the way I wanted to get rid of them. By hitting myself with them. Thankfully, Toad bombed himself off the road there. I need to be real careful with these shells because they're doing me more harm than good. Oh, ching chop. This course does lend itself well to some of the drift boosting, given all the nice, gentle curves. Alright, let's go for the jump. Last lap. As you can tell, each one of these laps is about almost 2 minutes, about 1:50 seconds. Leaves this being one of the longest races in the Mario Kart, specifically for the Nintendo 64. And given the fact that it is completely enclosed, getting back from a large deficit, i.e. coming back from, say, perhaps a last place placement is very difficult, unless you get some really good items or you're able to get one of those blue shells, because red shells in this map do next to nothing. They hit the edge of the map far too easily. So unless you've got someone really in your line of sight, it's kind of hard to hit them. I'm looking pretty good here with 3 green shells and a ghost. I've got one chain chomp coming up. I'm going to easily avoid him. I'm going to lose a shell there to that banana peel. I'll take it. See if I can hit him with a rotating shell. Nope. But I am going to hit him with that one. Just to make sure he doesn't get first place. And there we go. A perfect run on the final set of stages. 36 points, the maximum you can get. All right, and now for the awards ceremony. All right. Number 1. Fun fact, if you don't finish in the top 4, which is actually very hard to finish the game and not finish in the top 3, you're actually relegated to 4th place, which unfortunately shows you off looking at the awards ceremony, slugging or really kind of sledging yourself away there when a mini bomb cart decides to follow you up and over a hill and blows you up. Adding insult to injury.
Congratulations!
I got it!
I got it!
All right.
To Mario Kart.
That is Mario Kart for the Nintendo 64. As I mentioned, we've gone all through the different races. There are 4 different series with 4 tracks each one with 3 laps. So, thank you so much for joining me on this Mario Kart adventure today. If you missed any of the previous episodes in the mix, we've got Super Mario Kart. That one is up on YouTube and Twitch for you to go and enjoy. Just search for Reeb64 or check a look at my YouTube channel. You can find all of my previous streams there, including some other Mario Kart fun. that'll do it for me here this afternoon. Thank you so much for watching, and you have yourself a safe day. We will see you next stream.